Sorry about the very, very long wait. I won't lie. The only reason I'm doing this run is because I wanted to see the Spear Master animations longer than 2 seconds. Lances are genuinely a cool weapon type, although likely my least used one. In the weapon triangle, which is filled with 2 other extremes, it's nice to see a more moderate weapon, with average stats in accuracy and power. I mean, Radiant Dawn is an exception to this, where hand axes have more hit, attack, and uses than javelins. What? I believe Fate's Conquest is a key example in how to show Lance's negatives off, however. It and swords are almost certainly the weakest weapon types. Besides stones, we don't talk about those. Unlike swords, you have flying classes in which, swords should have at least one, but whatever. You miss out on a lot of really useful special weapons though. No magic weapon, no quirky Hoshidian weapons, and somewhat importantly, no armor effective weapon. The main enemy that comes to mind is Conquest Generals. After enemies start to promote, they all have Wary Fighter, meaning I'll do chip damage one at a time to them. Playing this game on Lunatic mode with only lances is sure to be a fun challenge, and I hope you all enjoy. All lances are allowed, and I can't even specify that Naginatas can also be used because there's none in Conquest, unless I cheat and use the bonus box, which I won't. I won't use most of the DLC, but I do use Dark Falcon, which is a terrible class on its own, but is fun because of the skills and flight. Mostly because I think it's fun to think of the options Gale Force gives you. Oh, and staves are allowed. I used my Branch of Fate for my Rev Axe only run from over a year ago, since only 2 maps are possible and I ain't using Gunter.
Imposter.
I choose a male with plus strength, minus luck spear fighter talent, since it's incredibly rare in this route, and most importantly, it looks really cool. We start with Chapter 6, where I immediately fail because there are no Lance users. This is the only version of this map without Lance users too. Xander can use Lances, but he didn't bring any. Coward. I just give all the XP to Corrin. Chapter 7 is actually hard because there's only 2 units I can use, and early game maps are meant for you to use everyone. That being said, I still first tried it because I am an epic gamer. I had actually attempted this run with all blue weapons back in December, where I immediately made Corrin a spear fighter and had him and Silas share the bronze lance. I could have done that here and it makes Bree Chapter 10 way easier, but in this run I decided to not do that because it's funnier that way. Instead, I just use him as a Silas backpack because he deserves it. I originally thought this run would be impossible without daggers and would need them for the magical flame shuriken, but I actually did the math out on some suspect areas and thought a forged steel lance would be good enough. Is what I would say if I actually did that, and didn't just YOLO it and got lucky enough for it to happen to work. For the first 2 turns of the map, I don't have a unit to attack, but it's almost required that you let Corrin get attacked enough when Silas arrives. You really want Vow of Friendship on him for that +3 attack and +3 defense. Pair Corrin into Silas and put him in the others exactly here. This will mean that only Silas will be attacked. Usually I would just kill all the faceless immediately, but I don't have the firepower for that. But then Effie arrives. For a run like this, you really want a hyper carry that just has absurd strength. Effie is perfect for that. I even attempted to use her in my original version of this run, but let's just say there's someone else who I thought would be funnier that I used instead. Enough obvious foreshadowing. Effie spawns perfectly to wall off this area along with Silas. I also make sure to buy a javelin for Effie specifically for this map. Now this is a predicament. I get around it by putting my units in a ball and only letting Elise get attacked by 1 faceless, which she can actually survive. This gives me enough room to break through on next turn to keep everyone safe and ready to fight the boss. I leave Felicia as a decoy for 1 turn and attack the guy next to the boss twice to kill him, making me ready for the boss, who attacks Silas for no damage. I can even attack again on player phase, then enemy phase, then finally kill them all with Silas. Now all that's left is to farm XP with a 1-tile choke point. Silas comically takes 0 damage, I get a ton of XP and some nice levels on Silas. And of course, gambling with Silas's speed growth is always the best part of early game Conquest. I get a C support with Silas and Corrin and Effie and Arthur. Also getting Silas to D rank for javelins, which is important. Probably the most important part of Chapter 8 for this run is Niles. And the main reason I made the exception for DLC. I wasn't joking when I said I wanted to see spear fighter animations. And the main problem with that is that your capture bot can't use lances. This means I can't capture Hitaka, which is cringe. I've only ever used 1 generic before and I wanted to at least use Hitaka since he's very cool. His usual problem of being a non-reclassable spear fighter is actually good here. Well, the spear fighter part. If you had another lance class, that'd obviously be better than nothing. Oh yeah, Darkflyer. I mentioned in the intro, but this class is frankly completely abysmal. Its only actual benefit is just being a pay-to-win DLC class that has promoted class bases, while being able to go into it without promoting. It's barely stronger than Outlaw with only +1 HP and +1 strength. Outlaw is not a tanky or physically strong class. Please do not ever put a unit like Niles into this class, it will not work out. 8 move is insanely overpowered this early on though. Its only good skill is Gale Force too, but Niles won't be the recipient of that because if he stays in this class he will genuinely deal no damage to late game enemies. At least he has 38 speed as a cap in this class, cause that matters. I did mess around with a bit of the starting strategy of this run, which is weird because I did basically the same thing for my ranged weapons only run. Just use a javelin and give Silas a strength tonic. I don't know why I'm so uptight about one strength tonic usage. Actually I need Vow of Friendship active. Nah bro, Corrin dodges and then Silas dies. Man, stop. And then I give him a resistance tonic? Bro. Either way I do that, then finish off the other mages. Then attack Flora with Effie and then Niles with 100% reliability. Then I freeze the Lancer with not 100% reliability. Now that I'm in this position, nothing can go wrong. Even with the wave of enemies coming. Nothing goes wrong. I definitely did not accidentally give Silas too much resistance. It was fine anyways. I get all the villagers and fight the boss, get some chip with Niles, then have him at exactly enough HP to not trigger Vantage. Fire emblem. In a frankly absurd move, I decide to actually buy a steel weapon in this video game. Effie has C rank lances, so why not? I was already planning to buy at least one, since in this route you get 3 steel lances, and having a 14 might +2 steel lance sounds hilarious. It's definitely better than me selling the Iron Lance Effie starts with at the same point in the previous run. I like to believe in the many months since then, I've evolved from that absolutely degenerate behavior. It's a good note to make that I also have a Perry's Lance, which is a My Castle exclusive 1-2 range lance. While javelins are strictly better because they can't crit and have 4 more attack, you only get 2 in the shop until chapter 14. We have 3 lance users right now, and once we get Mozu, she will be our 4th until chapter 10. And simply put, having even a small chance to do small damage at range is better than a 0 chance. With the dark flying animal on my team, yes, I'm just saying synonyms of birds when describing this class, and yes, I wrongly said Dark Flyer like a minute ago. Can we get actually it's Dark Falcon in this game, in the chat? With the Dark Bird on my team, I can easily rush towards Mozu, even getting damage on Corrin for Silas is personal. Then I just have to clear out some filth, and then can finally get into the cycle for the reason I did this map. Grinding up Mozu. Yippee! I just chip with Effie, then kill with Mozu. It's a lot harder than when she's an archer, but still very reasonable. She still does 0 damage to the boss, but it was worth it for D lances and almost level 8. Half the turn count of my ranged weapons only run. For preparation of the next chapter, I grabbed the prison and then mashed my keyboard for some reason. Must have accidentally left my mic on. Me when I'm literally just typing a sentence and call it mashing. Anyways, I still can't use the mess hall because of this, but that's fine. I don't like this map, but it's really easy if you don't play like a baka, which is hard for me sometimes. It's okay, you get Nyx. She can easily demolish the rest of the game for me. The first wave is easy. After killing 4 enemies with my 4 combat units, Elise gets attacked but doesn't die. Effie gets a 1% crit against the samurai though. It's always gotta be this map where that happens, I guess. Bait out the status staff because it's a great design choice, and recruit Nyx. She's Nyx. Killing the archers over the wall with a javelin is pretty free. I also activate Vow of Friendship, and the enemies down here aren't dangerous. I was pretty happy with this Effie level up, but she's below average on almost everything except defense and res. Bruh. Garbage unit because I get unlucky shaking my head. The reinforcements come specifically because it is the end of the map, and it'd be funny if you realized you wasted 40 minutes only to lose here because you didn't know about them. Thankfully, I have the power of Google, and can just look this up and promptly spawn camp them. Except for the spear fighters who I delete from existence. For Itaka, I let Silas dodge tank a 78% hit and then attack again, letting Niles have 4 chances to hit Itaka at 67% accuracy for the capture. He misses the first hit before dodging Hitaka's, then hits the second attack. Invasion 1 was genuinely so boring that I actually almost fell asleep trying to come up with something to write, so Silas getting a nice level up even though it's a scam because he's behind on speed and defense. He's still a god though, so it only took me 10 minutes. Also a demonstration of how good Steel Lance Effie is early on. With Invasion 1 however, we have exactly enough maps to get Corrin and Silas an A support, letting him become a lance-wielding cavalier. This is literally the only reason it isn't necessary to give Corrin a heart seal for the first few maps. Corrin's use before he promotes is mostly limited to the Dragonstone, which I cannot use because it is not a long pointy stick. So just using him as a pair up bot until he can use lances is better than anyone else who can't use lances. And it means something extra special for this chapter. Chapter 10 is fantastic, my second favorite map in the series. I immediately butcher it by giving Silas too much defense. This is why rally defense is a scam, kids. After my game crashed or something, I learned that Effie can one-shot the two initial spear fighters with a steel lance, while Silas deals with the two Onis with help from Corrin. Then our two saviors and Baruka join. Sad Baruka hours. I love her, but she starts at level 9, so no insta promotion. At least she can get Niall's Wyvern access. You might notice that I haven't used either of the two heart seals you have access to at this point. I could have given it to Corrin, Arthur... Oh... I choose to use them on the only two units left with Lance Heart Seal options. Selena is actually really bad as a Sky Knight. Wait, let me just fix this real quick. Yeah, Sky Knight, like Darkfowl, is just really bad in this game, to be honest. Even its flavor text is just completely wrong for some reason. Apparently only in English. Thanks, Treehouse. This class absolutely does not excel in defense in any game of this series. Don't know how that error got through. But hey, it can fly and has super overkill speed, especially with Darting Blow, which makes doubling certain enemies that you shouldn't be able to double trivial. She also has alright damage with a Forged Bronze Lance and Quick Riposte. Eventually I can put her on Wyvern Lord from one of two fast supports, which she makes great use of due to her focus on speed and defense, working really well with Wyvern stats. Speaking of, Camilla is already a great unit, and Wyvern Lord usually makes her even better, but in this run is essential much earlier than usual, due to my lack of options. Wyvern Lord's Lance access is usually not used besides with Xander, which is a damn shame since its Lance animations are spectacular. Maybe Lance's just always had the best animations. Once again, neither of these are good options if you're playing the game normally, especially with E-rank weapons, but they're still fun to try out and I encourage the experimentation. Also, I get hit by a 1% crit after I fail an attempt anyways. Thanks. Originally I had done something completely different, but I wanted to outdo myself compared to the last challenge run, and actually kill Takumi before he lowers the Dragon Bane. On my winning attempt, Effie grabs the Dual Club, which I will sell for money, and moves fast enough to aggro Hunada, who immediately dies to a Dual Strike. Instead of having Silas stay in the middle area, he moves up while Camilla assists with Obero before Selena gets a good level off her. I have given her strength and defense tonics because Sky Knight, throwing up emoji. Effie makes it to Takumi on turn 5, enemy phasing him with fairly low accuracy, but this is the exact turn she needs to start attacking. She hits and then hits again on player phase. Epic. My main tactic after this is just holding the line. Hitaka gets an amazing first level up too. Spoilers, but this man just gets absolutely cracked levels throughout the entire run. I'll show them off as much as I can because it's a sight to behold. Although I guess his growths are just amazing enemies for no good reason. Niles takes on the Onis one at a time, which is incredibly unrisky for him due to Baruka pair up. Reinforcements arrive, but I'm mostly afraid of the archers to the top right. On previous attempts, their positioning was really annoying me, especially since 3 of my units are flyers. I'm at permanent weapon triangle disadvantage, and I can't counter them with a javelin. Without a javelin. Niles dodges a 69 nice, but even more reinforcements arrive and I'm actually kinda stuck. Effie is perfectly fine with taking 0 damage from all of these ninjas, but Niles might actually die. Especially if he doesn't dodge and we have waves of Oni to the right and the archers still coming at me. I get around this by having Hitaka and Mozu slowly help Niles. Find that Silas can actually one-shot archers with Perry's Lance and Camilla Dual Strike. I just have to be ready to keep Camilla out of their range because of her wings. Corrin and Selena can also deal with a few of these Onis, even dodge a 70 I didn't actually need to dodge. Silas and Camilla could kill the remaining 2 archers, with Silas forbids Camilla of weapon XP because he's too strong or can crit. Damn. The enemy AI actually really helps me with Niles, as the 1 damage throwing club guy is blocking an actual damaging iron or steel club guy from attacking there instead. I can kill the throwing club guy and Niles is fine with taking a steel club hit. Felicia is also in range to heal him next turn. Clean up the Onis here, Elise gets the best level up from her I've ever seen in a run where I'm not using her past this map anyways. I attack the Sky Knight pair so I don't lose this turn. And now we're at the final turn. I just let my units get 1 or 2 kills before ignoring the enemies too far away to do anything. Selena gets another great level up, and while it's not a full route like last time, I'm still very happy with how efficient most of it was. Certified banger map. I'm obviously not promoting anyone yet, but seeing Selena would have 21 speed if I promoted her right now is diabolical. She has Darting Blow too, so she could double Camilla if they fought. She'd do 2 damage, but it's still funny. Seeing her have the same defense as a generic archer in Kaze is also pretty diabolical. It's okay because if I just spend only 600 gold on tonics every map for her until she changes to Wyvern, it won't be that bad. What I'm trying to say is, Chapter 11 is a filler map, and how did I write 600 words for it in my previous challenge? Shelter Sing failing like 5 times, yada yada. Most of them were my fault due to inexperience with doing it, like forgetting that you have to have used your action to be sung to twice. This is for rally defense coverage, by the way. Silas and Camilla cover the Onis while Effie and Mozu take on the Archer, missing twice in a row. After some usual weaving that this map makes you do, I miss a 98. Are you joking? I'm going to actually explode the day I miss a 99, which is probably soon. The rest of the map is pretty boring, and I spend a large amount of time slowly moving my army back and forth, because I can, and the game doesn't prevent me from doing this. Eventually, after slowly eradicating all of the miscreants and the ninjas, besides Kaze, the Zama's room and the middle room, I walk up to Kaze and double him with Selena without pair up. Was this at all necessary? Absolutely not, but I find it supremely hilarious to double a unit as fast as Kaze, even if it takes me like 20 more turns than I needed. Silas manages to dodge quite a few high accuracy attacks, and wow, Silas actually has pretty good speed now. The rare speed bless Silas is a treat. He has better stats than Perry in everything except res by 1 point. Wonder why she's on the thumbnail and in the background of this video then. Who can say? My FA is also really not great. It feels weird saying it, but I'm now less confident in utilizing her 80% strength throws because of my bad luck. Maybe it's because she's married to Arthur. I'll use her next map, mostly to get Mozu friendship online, but that's mostly it. Why would I get Mozu friendship if Archer on Effie isn't needed? Well, either you understand my thought process or you'll find out in a few minutes. This map is really fun. The Pop map, as it's known, has a 16 turn time limit with reinforcements to make you hurry up, challenging sub bosses and Ryoma, Treasure, and of course who could forget Perry. This little childish, murdering psychopath that fits perfectly in the cold nation of Nor is one of my favorite units in all of Fire Emblem. It's because she is really bad. Her nature as a cavalier in the same game with tyrants like Silas and Xander alongside terrible bad stats, being under-leveled, terrible heart seal classes, and bad friendship classes all strive towards making players never use her. But if you use her for long enough to make use of her strengths, she's a ton of fun. She's my hard carry for this run. Her best attribute is my favoritism, and also her growth, and personal skill alongside Azura can actually make her stats kind of bonkers very fast, mostly if you get lucky. My main thought process for this run, and also my original Lances and Daggers only run, was to either have Effie or Perry be a hard carry. With their high strength stats, you can potentially punch through any enemy with enough will. I used Effie in the other one, but she got stat screwed. And this Effie is also looking to get stat screwed, so I'll take the units that's about 2 entire tiers below the other. An easy consideration with her I had was stacking multiple different skills and buffs together to form an absolute abomination. Her personal gives +4 strength and speed, Azura gives 3 more speed, a Brave Lance means she won't need to take a counter with her negative defense, Lance for Spearmaster for 5 damage, yes I'm marrying her, and finally Gale Force from Dark Avian to have her attack with all of this again. Is this overpowered with Gale Force? Probably. Is this super overkill, and is there easier strategies elsewhere without babying a unit like Perry for a few maps? Certainly. Is it really funny and made me have more fun with a new strategy? Absolutely. And I'd do it again if I get the chance. My strategy for this and most maps left in the game revolves around Perry. Even the strategy outside of maps is about worshipping the Perry god so that she levels strength and speed. Give the defense buff pot to everyone, Selena and Camilla take on the 2 initial samurais while Perry gets a dual strike with Corrin to kill this ninja. I also sing to her so she can take a tonic, and already you can see just how insane her stat stacking ability is. 22 speed at base when her actual base is 13. On this run I feed her Kagero and Saizo, but she gets a terrible first level up, so I reset. I'm not above that. I do some testing to get the values right for Silas to nuke every ninja over the wall with Camilla supporting him, then let Perry get the 2 kills again and she gets the same level up. You see, Lunatic mode has an hidden anti-cheese mechanic implemented to prevent stat re-rolling with level ups, but it's only rolled for all stats at character recruitment. I forgot however that Perry is technically recruited before battle prep start, so if you save here the same growths will be applied every single time. You can fix this by just exiting out and re-entering the map. The enemies move a bit different this time and Silas lives on exactly 1 health. Perry also attacks Saizo and Kagero again and gets a good enough level. Her defense growth is 35% in Cavalier, so I'll honestly probably take it over speed. She then casually 1-rounds a Samurai even without pair up, she 1-rounds more enemies and gets a great level up. Now we're in the conundrum of how to fight the middle section. I learned very fast that breaking all the pots is Not the correct option, as it turns out. I try again, but freeze the spendthrift guy, and it doesn't help. I try again because I don't know the definition of insanity. Instead, I let Parry get lunged while still freezing the spendthrift guy and will rouse him poor soul. But Parry is frozen and sure to die. I do it from a different position to not get frozen, and it works better. I slowly wade through the enemies, and Parry and Corrin get a great level up each. I then go back to try destroying all the pots in the first place again. Huh? It doesn't work. What? Vine Boom. Somehow I actually do get it to work. I mean, sure, whatever, man. I get the treasures and then fight Ryoma by first enfeebling him, then Selena, then Silas, then finally Parry, who doesn't level up, but she's gained 4 points of strength and 3 points of speed in 4 levels. Worth it. Corrin, a certified pacifist, seemingly does not care that he just employed a serial killer into his army. I mean, if we wait until the S support, I guess the reason is no. She has our second steel lance, sweet 12 might, here we go. Since we have Parry, we can use her services as an exquisite cook every map for more stats, although it's still very subject to RNG. The chef's hat also looks very good on her. Like my other challenge runs, I have a supreme surplus of gold and can forge a lot of mostly bronze lances for my exploits. You can tell how bad at naming things I am, can't you? This map is pretty simple. I also love the amount of cavaliers on the map right before I have access to the beast killer. It is somewhat of a lack of deployment slots, mostly because you get 2 middling units that can't meaningfully contribute much on this map anyways. After handling some initial enemies effortlessly, Orochi is the main problem over here. Niles can bait her in and kill some diviners on the way. Then he can attack her at no risk besides missing thanks to guard gauge. Despite the weapon triangle being reversed, Parry actually has salvageable hit against Orochi. Parry is known for absurdly terrible hit, and getting a Corrin support and playing an attack stance already gives her 20 extra hit. Parry does actually have another hit boosting skill in her native class set. Heartseeker from Dark Mage seems like a meme, but if you aren't exclusively playing with lances, I'd say it's actually pretty well used on her. And once I marry Corrin and Parry, she can obtain Quixotic, which increases her hit by 30, which negates this flaw even more. Long parry hit tangent aside, I bait Reyna with a newly recruited Benny, who by the way has our third of 4 steel lances, and then just take out as many cavaliers as I can. I then kill the outlaw and shelter Sing so I'm not in range of Scarlet's group. I have now effectively won the map as nobody else will ever move until I get in their range, and I have free access to all the villages. Takumi is defeated by him critting Benny. Oops. Instead I send Parry, who doesn't get doubled, then just pounce on everyone. I let Parry fight Scarlet's wyverns on enemy phase, which kills them and spawns a bunch of reinforcements. Also, Parry is 6 for 7 on strength level ups. Scarlet takes some chip, then dies to Selena. The rest of the enemies are pretty easy. This Silas has also turned out pretty cursed. Above average on everything except strength. The blessed lance you get from this map, and the one I will later buy, will be a staple in the health regeneration economy. Fun fact, the next map, Chapter 14, was the first map I didn't play on my only blue weapons version of this run. As you can see, the team setup isn't terribly different, but there are a few differences you can probably spot right away. Like Corrin and Effie being spear fighters, even though she is bad. Kaze and Felicia are used because I can actually use them. And oh no spoilers for 30 seconds into this video. Finally, my Parry is way worse. Sure, this new shiny Parry is 1 level higher, but she has better stats in everything except res, by 1 or 2 points, or even strength by supreme 3. The entire run ends when this footage ends. My guess is I just didn't feel like any of the units I was making. Like, look at this Silas, 9 skill level ups and 10 levels? The hell? And this hyper investment Effie only leveled strength 4 times total across 9 levels. It's an 80% growth. So yeah, a bad run. This one's much better because I can reclass Mozu to Arthur and she doesn't immediately outclass the units I actually want to use. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely hilarious and still not optimal to put this frail villager into Armonite, but hey, she's 4 points away from capping speed, that's cool. But once again, don't ever do this if you hate having fun. Welcome to my precious Leo's Join chapter, also known as me flexing Selena, my new Armonite Mozu, and of course, Parry. The best part about early game Conquest is that unpromoted Hoshinian enemies like Samurai, Sky Knights, and Ninjas, not pictured here, are very easy to one-shot with dual strikes, making for a lot of pretty clean and easy kills. I sent Camilla and Silas to the top, which is a bit tricky because the Onis have the effective Pike Ruin Club against Lances. That's kind of a problem. The best way to take him down is to kill this other guy with a javelin, then have Silas steal all of Camilla's weapons and pair up with her. This is a technicality because while I'm only allowed to use lances, using her hands, which cannot do damage in this game, are not a long, pointy, usually metal object intended for killing or harming others. The good thing is that this is only one of 3 Pike Ruin Clubs in the entire game, the rest of which are easy to deal with. Wait, does that even make sense? Wait, what? I didn't complete that statement. Yes, you use your hands, but you aren't using your hands. Was that what I was trying to say? I think I wrote the script like a couple of months ago. Was I like not thinking? Actually, I'm not thinking right now. I'm like half asleep. Yeah, I'm dumb. Your hands aren't a lance, but I'm not using them. What? Bro, I don't even know. It's been a long day, okay? The good thing is that this is only one of 3 Pike Ruin clubs in the entire game, the rest of which are easy to deal with. One of the others is in this map, by the way. That's not true, there's another one in like one of the other maps that I wasn't thinking of at the time. Because there is no time pressure, the status stabs are easy. The only real danger on this map is the reinforcements. They only spawn when you bait these guys in, but there's 3 pairs of them, with Kinchis in the back, which is scary because I have 3 combat flyers. Even in this incredibly cramped space, I have enough actions to take them down. And I didn't use save states here for once. Proud of myself. Here's the other Pike Ruin Club. I do the same strategy as before, getting parried to level 19 and ready for promotion. Think these stats look like heaven? Check this out. Wow. 24 strength, 20 speed, 19 defense. In Great Knight. I love her. I want to marry her. Also, she has only gained a single point of resistance in 9 levels. Her main niche over Silas and Xander is that she actually has resistance. Like, what is going on? Selena also reaches 19, and while her defense is 1 point below average, her other stats are fantastic. I'm also marrying her to Benny, so she'll eventually have fine defense regardless. I mean, her stats don't look the greatest, especially compared to Peak over here, but I blame that on Skyknight more than Selena herself. It's worth it for rally speed and defense trust. Mozu ends Haitaka. Wait, what? What? Mozu ends... No, she doesn't! What? What? What was I trying to say there? Okay, I don't know what was up with this chapter. The rest of the map was easy though, I just bullied Shrine Maidens. The Falcon Knight outfit is absolutely drippy, by the way. Oh yes, good question passed me. I'm unsure if she can double Master Ninjas in chapter 17, and I don't remember since I'm writing this months later. So I guess we'll find out later. Yes, of course you can, man, and it's not that hard. 10 out of 10 support right here. That makes Korn look very normal. Xander doesn't look at you weird. I wonder why that is. Heh, funny. Chapter 15 is the easiest map in the game, but we get Gunter, who carries our 4th and final Steel Lance. Can you tell how passionate I am about this Steel Lance Forge? Korn has so much strength at this point he can one-shot or one-round every enemy besides the boss. Free promotion to Paladin as I vibe to the music. It's very intriguing seeing how much harder my life is when fighting axe enemies. Oh yes, nice 91% miss there, bud. Gives me flashbacks of something. Easy. Even after that dedicated training map, Perry still has better stats than Korn in everything except move, even including the Gremiato bonuses, plus 2 Steel Lance. So now it's time to show off my ultimate weapon. Perry Gaming Initiate. Yes, she takes on this entire side almost single-handedly. In fact, look at these stats, it's literally heavenly. This is one of the best things I've ever seen. Otherwise, I mostly keep people near their support pairings, Niles and Baruka, Mozu and Keaton, Silas without his wife, haha, and Benny, Selena, and Camilla. Of course, I'm also marrying Xander and Azura. It'll just be a long time, and I basically never do anything with it. Oh right, Xander. Xander actually does make reasonable use of his lance ability despite his personal weapon, mostly due to Wyvern Lord and Beast Killer. I use him mostly as a wall for now and then keep him as filler since I don't really feel like trying to fix his speed this playthrough. I'd rather just, well, you know. I killed Shura twice for his fine skin boots, and got 7,300 gold for 10 turns. Shura would have no utility in this run as he can't reclass to a lance class, but hey, Perry would really like that movement. Now she has the movement of a paladin because it's funny. Yeah, Xander really saw the kindness in you, Perry. That's why he hired you. Promote Benny and Silas, only leaving poor old Mozu as a level 18 unpromoted unit. Also, this Silas is absolutely cooked. What is this? 2 points behind on strength, 4 points ahead on speed, and 1.5 ahead on defense. Yippee! Now onto the map. Everyone only plays for gold. Percy is pretty nice too. I'll promote him to Wyvern Lord for filler combat. His stats aren't the greatest, mostly because I haven't used his parents, and I'm playing it before enemies promote to make my life easier. I like Percy's map conceptually and think it's well designed and everything, but actually playing it always gives me an aneurysm. Enemies don't do much damage, but I slowly wade through and get 11,000 gold from 22 out of 45 enemies. I pass down the easy HP plus 5 and defense plus 2, not 5, but the main utility I get from it is actually just getting male core and access to Wyvern Lord, which is otherwise impossible without a marriage or talent. Soon. Just ignore that minus strength and defense, that's okay. Welcome once again to Chapter 17, Ninja Hell. The easy strategy for this map is to double the Master Ninjas as a 2 range with a powerful bow or dagger unit. I cannot do that. Oh yeah, Hataka is still here. He's unpromoted and his one niche of rally defense is now covered by Camilla, so I'm sure I'll stop using him. Making use of dual strikes very much helps, and Silas, that was not necessary. Should have used a bronze lance, I guess. Silas's accuracy with his spear isn't great, unfortunately. Don't know why I bothered picking up a spear, to be honest. Benny acts as a great wall against the ninjas, so of course I put Selena in front and she dies, because birds have about -3 defense. If I get her enough attack to one-shot the ninjas, she's actually fine without poison strike. Mostly just inch my way just before the reinforcement zone, making sure to get supports like Percy and Corin online fast. Siza went the wrong way the first time, so I make sure to use Dragon Vades to force him to go to the top left. He'll see enemies over here and want to go in his little box, which you can trap by using another Dragon Vein. Then he won't needlessly end his own life about 8 chapters before expected, and I could take his Speedwing. These left reinforcements spawn in what is a very cramped area, intentionally so because me wants support. Silas and Camilla start taking on the southern ninja reinforcements since he and Camilla have immense attack. Hey, at least he's getting his strength back. I send Benny out for these middle guys because he is invincible, forgetting that there's an Armor Slayer guy there and he dies. Selena works much better, only 1 level away from rally speed. Since I'm bored, I try feeding some levels to Hitaka. He's gained strength and speed 7 out of 8 levels, and Perry has gotten HP skill and res 2 times in a row. Perry takes on the bottom right reinforcements effortlessly. The Samurai and Swordmaster reinforcements are pretty easy to take out. Hitaka also caps his strength as an unpromoted unit. Jesus Christ, this man will be a menace. Also changed Mozu to Kinshi where she has 25 HP. If you showed that to any other game and said she was promoted, they would laugh at you. Also, that's above average if you can believe me. The final room is scary specifically because the enemies don't move, but that also opens up cheese. Shelter Sing, baby. Or honestly, just don't bother and kill them all. Or attempt to. That's a 97% miss. Man. I don't think I've ever had rally speed this early. I just attacked Kotaro many times though, which is hard because he has 80 avoid with his special chair, but eventually he dies from Mozu. Lots of marriage. First Corn and Perry and also have Silas and Camilla, and also have Niles and Baruka. Selena and Niles reclass to Wyvern, and nice hanging comma there, bud. Gotta love Hitaka stats. Perry might have some competition, so maybe I should... No. Look at her in Spearmaster, though. Ooh. I relent. And give her a Speedwing and Draco Shield. Oh boy. Remember when I talked about wary fighter generals? Well, this map always came to mind when I thought of this challenge, and is pretty much the only reason I even did it. This map has a 20 turn time limit, which is fine normally. Even looking at the top half, it looks pretty easy, but then the bottom half, yeah, a lot of tanky enemies. The paladins are fine because beast killer, but lances have no effective weaponry against armors. That's a problem when they have 27 defense, but whatever, you can probably punch through that. The boss generals have 34 defense, and one of them see in permanent weapon triangle disadvantage, and they're likely to 2-shot most of your units. The easiest way to imagine this map goes is taking the generals for 0 to 3 damage every turn, and physically not having enough turns to kill them. Normally magic on player face, or a strong unit with a hammer takes them down really easily, but I don't have many options besides lots of strength. Yeah, that's why I wanted to use Perry or Effie. I immediately rushed this maid with Perry, who has an absurd amount of stats due to multiple different sources. Without rally defense, she has exactly enough defense to take 1 damage from the weakest heroes, letting her kill every 1 range enemy here, while also getting enfeebled and frozen. Selena takes Perry's Steel Lance Forge and dual strikes with Benny against the generals initially to the left. Then Xander dual strikes with Perry to one-shot this sorcerer, and Corrin dual strikes with Xander to exactly kill this other sorcerer. Silas then runs all the way down to one-shot this free staff guy. The lightning guy is scary but can't one-round Xander, which is good since he's the only one left. Then Silas does some enemy phasing, Niles kills the last maid while everyone else pushes aggressively because of the time limit. The remaining generals to the left are taken care of slowly, because Benny is pretty weak. After all is said and done, it is turn 6 and the majority of enemies are dead. The only ones left are the top guys, this group of 4 down here, the bosses, and all the reinforcements. Benny takes on the paladins and Bone Knights with Selena's dual strike. While Nal slowly pilfers the treasures, I send parry, and wow, that's really not bad damage at all. Oh, right, Luna. Proc skill funnies. Yeah, she takes them out really surprisingly easily. Also, by the way, make sure to put the unit fighting the generals to the right. Since Sakura is an ally unit, her personal actually activates on you, which is slightly amusing and useful. But yeah, turn 11 and what I thought might be the biggest hindrance to the run is gone. The only thing left is the top area and the crazy reinforcements it spawns when you activate these guys. Benny with Wary Fighter can survive the initial guys, and then I have enough actions to take out everyone. Zola is easy, although he does hit a 17 that doesn't end up mattering for the purposes of his life. For this challenge, this is probably the best map in the entire game, as even though I was over-prepared, you do still have to think of some strategy to get around your damage issues. Definitely a highlight. Perry is now a Spearmaster. Laggly. She looks very cool, her stats are also all things together pretty good. Ignore the 5 stat boosters, but seriously, can I just take a genuine moment to appreciate how Spearmasters look? And once again, the reason I did this run, their animations are sick. I really wish it was a better class than it is. Xander and Silas are also now in Wyverns, which they'll be stuck on for the rest of the game. Now there are only 2 units left on my team with a beast weakness. I wonder why that is. This map sucks, as everyone already knows, but I kinda like it. Yes, that's a contradiction. It's staying in the script. My first action is to put Percy, very similar names. Percy goes here with dual strikes from Corrin. He dies. I choose to stack approximately 50 bajillion defense on him, or like 6, and he lives. To be honest, the rest of it was actually really easy. I just baited what I knew I could handle, then dispatched on my turn. Yeah. Rip Caden. I marry Selena and Benny, who have probably one of the funnier supports. I really should use this big guy more, because he's very funny and lovable. And because of that, now we get to play another infamous map in this game. Although this one is more so in quotation marks. Kinda. I mean, I lose in 3 turns if I don't do anything, but that'd be dumb. Selena can easily tank the Berserkers to the left with her massive 38 defense. Since Perry has so much attack, I just put her here with a Javelin, because she'll probably just kill everything. Funnily enough, these mates here actually won't attack any of my units and will always choose to freeze. You see, despite wielding very powerful silver daggers, these guys have 5 strength. A maid's base strength is 4, by the way. Troubadours, who these maids were before they promoted, don't need strength, so they definitely did an oopsie with that. I instead send Corrin and Perry in attack stance, letting them kill more and leaving Perry at very low health. Selena kills a ton of cavaliers to the left, including the boss completely by accident. It's a route map though. I send my entire team to the middle to dispatch everyone and let Silas do some enemy facing. I then rush to help Ignatius and then just defend against the remaining Valiants. Also yes, Ignatius is very, very bad. Mozu and Keaton tie the knot, but what's more important is me questioning what the hell is going on with the sentence. Like, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm guessing nobody got Ignatius, so they never proofread this or something. Not that I would blame them if that were true. Anyways, from one mediocre child to the next, we do the Sophie paralogue. She's the daughter of Camilla and Silas, which should mean she's great. I don't know, she should be good, but I've honestly never had great results with face children besides, like, Soleil, who was still just objectively worse for most purposes than another option. I forgot to mention for Ignatius because it's irrelevant, but I passed on Strength +2 and Rally Defense. This map is pretty simple. Holy Stratker, which is probably my new favorite level up quote. He might be breaking the 4th wall, but that's what I'm all about. Corrin and Percy can take on the guys over here, although he does have to land a dicey 69 first. Hitaka can game on these Berserkers, getting a standard Hitaka level up. As is my standard strategy for this map now, I send Benny to this choke so that the villagers don't game end themselves before I have a chance to stop them. Silas recruits his daughter who has stats. They exist. Always remember to never let anyone tell you dodge tanking isn't real in Fates. Also, always remember to mess with Benny's face because it's funny. Everyone goes up the right side and just kills everyone there pretty effortlessly. Never mind. Camilla gets crit by 9%. Oops. This is why bronze weapons exist. Don't forget they exist, like some guy playing this footage did. Percy lunges this one guy while Xander kills him, and he tanks the remaining enemies like an absolute champ. Oh yeah, fun fact. The rule that makes enemies not attack for 0 damage isn't technically for Conquest specifically. I believe it's set by map, which is why this map doesn't have it, since it's a shared route map. It's a shared route paralogue. Same reason why some pre-Branch of Fates maps have it even when it's ridiculously hard to take 0 damage there anyways. So what I'm saying is, it was easy. Benny holds his point, and when the villagers get to the escape point, I body block them from being impaled on Nicole. The first 2 wyverns spawn, they spawn again in a few turns. It's the exact same pair. One of them is several levels higher, so I pick up both of them, albeit at some difficulty. The berserkers aren't worth mentioning. I didn't misclick, I swear. The real best part of the map is chipping the 3 bosses over and 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 okay, I'll stop. I get Flora, who this is probably the earliest I've ever gotten her because I actually remembered. Probably should have waited though. Also, 15 speed. Bro, that's Xander's base speed, who is a real fast boy. Corn and Percy finally get that A support, so Corn can fly in a wyvern, which is the only real reason I've done the last 2 paralogs. He will now be very sparingly used. If you're wondering how the only marriage not done yet, Xander and Azura, are going, they just reached an A support. Dance support rank is a pain. Oh right, I was AFKing the hit Roblox game, Sonic Speed Simulator at this time. I forgot about that. That's extremely funny, actually. Gotta love it when you're exactly 1 damage off of killing a guy. I send out units to opposite corners of the map to get as many guys down as quick as possible. Even when hexed, parry isn't doing too badly. Also, hexing only takes half of your base health, because I did a double take when I saw that half of 44 was 25. Walk up slowly and do nothing. Nice strategy. My next attempt, I walk up to Hayato and attack the Falcon Knight right next to him. He heals her. Reset. Attack Hayato, who gets healed, but that doesn't matter. This gives me a lot more room without the big hexing rod range. After claiming my AFK rewards in Sonic Speed Simulator, I put Camilla in range of one of the reinforcement falcons, as to not get one-shot by the Kinchis right next to them. Good thing Xander doesn't die to one of these Great Masters. Real proud of him for that. I would go more in detail about the rest of the map, but even the top left death trap is easy. Fuga really doesn't want to get hit, which sucks because reinforcements are coming from behind and right in front of me. My PC actually crashes right in the middle of this. No, that wasn't a cut, this is still the footage running. When I come back though, I just slap him with Selena, who misses an 83. Thanks. Good level though. I send Haitaka in as a last hurrah and seize that turn because Kinchis will nuke one of my 17 flyers if I don't. I now finally switch parry to Dark Flight. Wait, no, I have to say it's synonym of bird. Give me a moment. Yeah, that's good enough. I switched parry to Dark Avivana, which I've been foreshadowing this entire video. Since the only non-flyer units I have left are Haitaka, Benny, and Azura, the only unit that can use the Brave Lance is Benny, since Wyverns and Dark Passerines only have B rank. Haitaka doesn't have A rank lances since I've barely used him, and Azura can only go up to C rank lances. Use some hoarded stat boosters, including apparently another secret book, a speedwing on Silas, and an energy drop on Selena and Mozu. I walk up the hyperbolic eternal stairway with my trusty Brave and Blessed Lance to take on the pretty easy Faceless. This map is easily cheesed with flyers, well, flying up the stairway in less than 10 turns. Very fast, but I prefer killing a few on the way there for XP. I haven't mentioned it too much, but I actually let Niles and Haitaka fight a lot together for symbolic purposes. Some say they might have a strange and objectionable relationship due to Niles kidnapping Haitaka and forcing him to fight against his own people. But personally, embodying my favorite yaoi heads, I just think it's pretty cute. Anyways, when Perry walks up to the boss, she dodges the boss's 87% hit, and then hits 2 24% Luna hits in a row. Let me just do some math. 0.26% chance. Oh, how fun. Tell me if I'm wrong because I probably am. Continue walking up with the remaining units, including Haitaka, who is performing as usual. Then escape. Valoria's paralogue is a map where Past Me helpfully wrote, "Do a lot of stuff," as my only real note. I'm getting real sick of this Past Me guy. Valoria is probably one of the few child units in Fates I actually really like. Make her any physical class and her stats are pretty bonkers. Her only problem is wolf skin. Whatever, I'm fine with the rank lances. Her map on the other hand is pretty troubling. There's a lot of pretty strong enemies here, and Valoria herself might be put in danger since she spawns on the top or bottom, depending on which side still has more enemies. There's also a ton of stationary magic users, many with status staves. The Dragon Vein stops all magic with both you and your enemies, which is only a positive for me. First turn I activate a Dragon Vein, then I send Silas paired with Camilla all the way to kill the strategist, with the help of Azura. With the Forged Steel Lance, he one-rounds a ridiculous amount of enemies, more than half the enemies I believe. Niles and Haitaka also go here to one-round an adventurer, though I reset a lot since it's RNG dependent. Also, wait, did I not deploy the parry? Surprising. Then I activate the Dragon Vein again and attack these mages here, along with this adventurer, which the others won't kill Camilla due to guard gauge and the fact she's the best unit in the game. Benny also exactly one-rounds this Dark Knight with the Brave Lance, a feat that's impressive because he has Wary Fighter. Oops, Azura is kinda dead here. She has exactly enough move to escape their range for one turn, but the terrain will prevent her next turn. Either way, there's one sorcerer left here and Camilla is at low health. Oh. Well, that's a pretty low chance anyhow. Xander can shelter here to keep Azura out of range. Unfortunately, RNG comes back to bite me because while Xander takes 0 damage from this Faceless, the orb hits him and then a 39% chance from a sorcerer hits him. That sucks. I do have enough units to body block the sorcerer, but wow, that's quite a number of reinforcements, since 5 is considered a number. While I think about how to deal with that, Valora changed from a Wolfskin to Wolf Segner to Master of Arms. Mozu passed down Quick Draw since leveling once an Arm Master. How did I say it in the exact opposite order? Yeah, if you level once in Master of Arms, she'll get Aptitude, because villager funnies. And Keaton passes down nothing because he has not leveled a single time. Importantly, I held off on Valora until this point so that she would get better odds, which restores 40% of HP on odd turns. This would be impossible to get without children auto-leveling for this run, and is a genuinely great skill to have on a unit with stats like this. Anyways, this sorcerer do a ton of damage to all of my units. I get around this by one-rounding all of them. Valoria gets hit by a low chance hit, and I refreshed her for more XP, but she dies if she gets hit. Good thing she didn't. The Faceless are free, and the boss is also free, and I grind Valoria up to level 11, getting a useless Beast Stone Plus that the game won't even let me sell. And yes, I'm marrying her and Percy for Wyvern access I inevitably don't use. Child's Marriage just honestly comes in way too late, and you know, that sounds absolutely abominable out loud, holy. For the math nerds, I actually did this map one too late. I only needed her at level 6 to get better odds. Since Aptitude won't count for those levels now, I missed out on 1.6 stats. Knowing that, I won't be able to sleep at night any longer. I am traumatized. I'm not writing this down. What? The next map, fittingly titled Sakura because of the very important chapter boss Yukimura, is the start of Conquest's pretty successful attempt to ramp up late game Fire Emblem. A pretty hard feat judging by the rest of the series. I mean, it starts out pretty standard. Naoza and Hitaka flirting, Valoria already showing her dominance by one-rounding blacksmiths at weapon triangle disadvantage. A big part of this map is using the Dragon Veins to assist the other side. Opening up areas makes it easier to fight these reinforcements, for instance. The next trouble is Hana, who has 37 speed, which is insane for this part of the game. But hey, it's not as insane when I realized my parry can actually double her with some support. She has fine accuracy and can dominate the other fools as well. Although now there's some reinforcements that usually spawn a lot sooner. Tsubaki is kinda annoying since he seemingly has linked AI with these other guys. Despite me being in range, he won't attack. The Calamity Gate is also incredibly scary. When positioned like this though, Tsubaki won't be able to follow up and will stupidly attack Silas. Tsubaki dies. Now I can just chip these enemies over walls, but then the real struggle is here. A lot of strong reinforcements will spawn if you go over an invisible line here for multiple turns. And Sakura will also put back all the levies? Levit? I have no clue how to pronounce that. She'll put them all back if you've used any of the Dragon Veins. I left Ignatius over the wall and had to reset. With Parry's movement, I'm able to send her all the way to the right since I think they need more assistance than the left. Everyone gets to use her dual strikes, basically outright killing the Omni OG. The left wasn't as successful, but they didn't die. Although now there's even more reinforcements. I plug the right hole with a rally defense parry and let Valoria use a javelin on the left. The middle reinforcements are also rapidly approaching, which leaves me with kinda too many enemies to deal with. I leave a few blacksmiths alive after targeting the mechanists on the left, which I thought would be easier, but I forgot that there was a Pike Ruin Club guy though. RIP. I did find the right combination of guys to attack next time though. After that, it's mostly just cleaning up and not too dangerous. Kill Yukimura in a pretty reckless way, but it works. Nice 69. Notably, Parry actually gets enough levels to learn Gale Force. While it's nerfed from Awakening, I will have a ton of fun with this. I don't strictly have to kill Sakura, but I want to anyways. I first see Corrin's unique dialogue, then kill with Flora Dual Strike, getting a useless Spirit Dust. This also finally lets Xander and Azura marry, which will do nothing because I'm not getting Seabert. I immediately reclass Parry into Basura for mainly both of its skills. Run Heaven is another proc skill, which we love in this house. And Quixotic makes Parry's hit more tolerable, and enhances proc skills, which we love in this house. Parry speed is actually capped in Paladin already, and I can't have that. To slightly augment this for likely very little actual practicality, I can build a C support by Parry with Niles and Salina. Since after 50 kills, their statue will reach level 2 and increase all C support characters by 1. The stat cap, yeah, That's what I'll do. They are the only characters on the speed statue list that I can use, so it's so small it won't matter, but I'll bring it up again if it does somehow. It doesn't. While experimenting for next map, I casually get hit by a 1% crit that doesn't kill. Okay, this is the first time I'll be able to show off the absurdity of Gale Force, especially when paired with the Brave Lance. Are you serious? This is the main reason I'm in boss rush, since plus 30 hit would negate most cases of stuff like this happening to me. Anyways, this first area is mostly tricky because of the snipers, but I can just chip them down with Benny Javelin first and then swoop in. We have infinite time to prepare, so I make sure everyone heals first and then prepare to take on Hinata's group. It's one of the meanest enemy groups in the game, and yeah, of course I'm just gonna cheese it again. Do you even know me? As explained in the ranged weapons only video, they will only move if you stay on the mid part of the bridge or higher. They don't check if you were ever on the bridge that turn. So funny. Barry gets Rend Heaven and I capture some very strong rally Spearmasters. If you use both of them, they actually have more rally coverage than the infamous Rally Man. Rally skill and luck is more helpful than it might seem. Next wave is hard, but I perfectly kill or body block all of the enemies and die anyways. I do mostly the same thing, but put Valora left one tile and she's fine. Well, fine is an overstatement. I have no words. Accidentally crit and kill Rally Man, but probably wasn't going to use him anyways. I put Benny on the top to start dealing with those enemies, and he gets crit by a 2% crit that gets guarded and would do 0 damage anyways. I repeat that an agonizing amount of times. Oh hey, Boots. I think long and hard about who I have no regrets. I am able to wait here and then wipe out many of the enemies instantly, especially with help from Gale Force. Even kill Oboro before she even has a chance to fight back. Trolled. Quixotic is of course nice, as I have already said. The pineapple is very dangerous, as shown by Hitaka reaching 35 hit with a bronze lance. Get a Benny chip, who then applies his personal, and Hitaka actually gets a hit in. I dance him, but he can't finish it off, letting me use Parry, who goes from a measly 42 hit to 42 hit to 40. She goes from 42 hit to 82 with Corrin's personal and Quixotic. Crazy. She also exactly survives a vengeance. Then Hitaka must hit one of these two attacks. He does, finally letting me leave this chapter. He also got Lancefer and has cap speed somehow, only after 133 turns. Parry has kept both strength and skill, so I upgrade the statues as previously described, also upgrading Corrin's for +1 strength. With Quixotic, Parry's proc skill chance is now 60 for Rend Heaven and 45 for Luna. Quite a banger. She also was Spearmaster now. I played this map 2 weeks after the last one, so I apparently jump scared myself with my 7 wyverns I have. I don't know, that's kind of just normal Fire Emblem gameplay though. Parry can dodge and outright one-shot these Omni OG. Same with Valoria, who has a brand new life and death active. Her defense is good enough that even with it, she doesn't take too much damage, and it's easier to one-shot things. Once I aggro Setsuna, the one Pike Ruin Club, Oni decides to isolate himself for some reason, leading to his death by being ganged up on. Valoria hits a 50-50 and then dodge tanks the remaining Onis easily. Selena gets a perfect level, then another showcase of Gale Force's flexibility, leading to Corrin to not die by an exact dual strike. Even with all these enemies, I'm not too bad off. Parry got Lance first, and now it's time for her to class change for the last time in the game. I fully anticipated sending her into Great Knight, but as it turns out, Great Knight is kinda complete garbage. I wanted to go to it for Armored Blow. This is a statement not a single person has ever uttered in their life. But I realized it was pointless because Brave Lance means I'm taking 0 damage anyways. Along with that, I just don't have skill slots to spare. I need all 5 of these things for damage, hit rate, and Gale Force. So, also its caps are completely terrible. So I choose Paladin instead. Her cannon, never mind, not her cannon class. It makes more sense as her cannon class, but whatever. Pretend the reason was that it looks cooler, because it does. While it's only okay on this map because of the flying gimmick, Conquest actually doesn't reward flying at all past this map, so Paladin is perfectly great. Later, I misclick and Mozu dies, and I rage quit for the day. Now it is June 9th, also known as Nice Day. I am ready to win this game. The nice thing is that Mozu can one-round the Kinchis unpaired up with a Bronze Lance at 100% accuracy. Atta girl. One of the 2 Rally Spearmasters I've been looking around dodges 558% hexing rods, and then gets hit, which is fine because he won't see combat. Parry rides all the way to Hinoka and kills her before she can even attack back, then gets Gale Force. I love Parry. Hinoka will never see her intestines again, unfortunately. I take out the enemies I can, then seize. Nothing like 3 green stats on Parry. Chapter 25 is one of the more underrated late game maps out of Conquest's roster. Most people just kill Ryoma and don't interact with 90% of the map, because it's easy. I'm not doing that. Benny is pretty perfect to take on these ninjas due to his stats, and wow, that's almost perfect crazy. And this will be most of my strategy on the right. Gale Force, kill a guy, and then run out because it's funny. Silas can do some gaming to these guys. Korn is in a lot of danger from Ryoma, as shown here. And then 14% hits. Ha 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 ha. I try to see if this Swordmaster is like Hinata's group in chapter 23 and can be shelter sing abused, but they cannot. In fact, the only reason this automaton can't attack is because the Swordmaster pair is blocking them. I realize Perry, who is by herself, needs one extra point of move to reach this ninja, so I have Hitaka walk across the entire map for it. I was right that Paladin's one extra move would be needed. On the left side I have Flora freeze one automaton, and then the other doesn't even attack because the enemy prioritized enemy dual striking. It could have easily killed Flora if it did due to debuffs, lunge, and the other enemies there. I then walk up to the automatons and kill these two. Also, yeah, Perry's been safely chipping away at the right side still. And, why is attack first and not sing? You know, what my singer is going to do. Save states my unfortunately beloved. Love having 95 hit against a dual katana because of Swordbreaker though. Benny has a sky high 50 defense and can live all of these ninjas at 5 health. We love inevitable end. He also only has 21 defense after the debuffs. Goddamn. Otherwise, getting the enemies out of position is really enough anyways. After slowly making it to the top, I get to reminisce about the other time Perry killed Kagero, which in the recordings was about a month ago. How time flies. Perry would easily be able to one-round Ryoma with the Brave Lance, but that'd be overplayed. I let Xander get the kill instead. He gets the skill that would have been helpful against Ryoma. Also, Xander has speed in his 20s. I'm so proud of him. Chapter 26 is next, also known as Why Won't This Stupid Game End Already? Is where the devs went, okay, you've had your fun, now have fun with infinite use status saves. Yippee! Careful preparation is basically a requirement for this map. With the appropriately named Perry's Lance +2, because she's Perry, she can one-shot this maid. I said one-shot this maid. Bruh. She does it first try, proccing Gale Force and letting her move back to safety with Korn, who might just be a little bit safe. Just kidding. I overestimate his evasiveness with freeze and he dies. Turn 2 this time I do a bunch of attacks to get kills, then let Perry get entrapped, which she lives. I get to the sorcerer room and make one gigantic ball with all my units, then attack every single sorcerer with my many units. Then Perry one-shots nearly every reinforcement sorcerer with an exact Luna kill, and then go over the exact strategy I did in my Conquest ranged weapons run, and copy that exactly because I am unoriginal and will plagiarize off of my own work. Basically, you just entrap Hans and then some enemies aggro when they shouldn't. So I kill Hans, then kill the aggro enemies easily. Perry breaks the door and then gets sheltered. Azura can then sing to Korn and everyone can get out of the danger range. Next turn, reinforcements will start spawning and the rest of the enemies in the bottom room will start coming at me. I put Hitaka, Camilla, and Selena at the top to take on the reinforcements, while Korn and Xander block the bottom hallway due to their great defense. More reinforcements spawn, but I can quickly dispatch these ones with the help of Perry. After that, I very slowly chip down the generals and berserkers for roughly half an hour until they're all dead. Hitaka then eviscerates Iago and I seize. Also, I really wanted to prove I actually used the Venge Naginata from this chest to a good effect because my notes say Venge Naginata Gaming, but I can't find any footage of it. Wonder why that is. Maybe because it's garbage. Now that I'm on the last map of the game, I don't have to mess with Mess Hall RNG for at least a few months. This hits harder now that I haven't played Fire Emblem in 3 months at all. Sob emoji. I sell the S rank items I will not need, excluding the Bifrost, because it could be very funny. This gives me an exorbitant amount of gold I will absolutely not use. Chapter 27 is very easy. I put Perry solo against the Swordmasters, who she easily kills 2 of on player phase, and almost kills the other next turn. Some of my units have been teleported to mini-boss areas, but they're no trouble to take care of. Maybe this was the Venge Naginata Gaming in my heart. It's very easy to mess with the AI of the remaining enemies because of the stairs, so you don't have to kill them at all. I kill the Spearmasters anyways. I let Perry attack Garen with the Brave Lance, who procs 3 Lunas and doesn't kill. Silas can then swoop in and exactly kill, but no. Fortunately, this game does not end like that. Instead, we have my favorite map in the whole series, which I will now obliterate with the power of pay-to-win DLC. I could go over my other characters' builds like my Corrin, Camilla, Selena, Valoria, Silas, Hitaka, Mozu, Benny, maybe even Xander. Nah, just Perry. Only she matters. She's a paladin with 48 health, 10 movement, capped offensive stabs, and just fine defense. Her primary thing is Gale Force, which, while not as applicable anymore because of rallies, does allow her to secure her personal skill and use it very easily. She also has Lance Fair, which gives 5 more damage, and Luna, Rent Heaven, and Quixotic for proc skills, all of which are very overkill, but it's funny. Since she has Cap skill and luck, Quixotic, and I have Rally skill and luck, her hit is also completely fine, which is fantastic to see. I don't think I've ever seen so many skills on one unit in Fates, but I think this is my best option. As another note, I captured a maid from chapter 26 for more status staves. Status staves are really good on this map, and I made sure to save all rescues and all silences specifically for this map. This map throws everything from the entire game at you, especially on Lunatic. Infinite, Enfeeble, Inevitable, and status staves, basically every dangerous enemy type. Faceless reinforcements if you take too long, what's not to love? And so we start this map. Perry immediately moves 1 down and gets sung, so that she can kill an Oni and then an Enfeeble Maid. She gets rescued and I silence the left Enfeeble Maid, leading to only 1 Enfeeble Maid being left for this turn. Perry and Silas enemy phase, then have Valoria and Selena kill 2 Amioji. Camilla and Silas can block the heroes and Perry can kill 2 more Enfeeble Maids before being rescued again. This Perry play against the general might look suicidal. Nah man, just trust. Now the only remaining status stab users are the Great Masters on the bottom. I intrepid kill a general, then bait many other enemies, killing the ninjas very easily for instance. I'm baiting quite a bit too many enemies on accident here, but it's quite alright since I can freeze 3 of the 4 pairs of Paladin and Bow Knights, and then kill every other enemy. Perry actually has enough move to reach Takumi, but it's not a great idea just yet. I kill the remaining pairs with all my units and let Silas enemy phase the Great Master since they position themselves to be in range of 1 unit with 2 range here. One actually enfeebles him since it can't damage him, but the other one attacks him. Now I pretty much have to kill Takumi this turn, so I enfeeble him and prepare for a big attack by everyone. And by that, I mean I chip with Camilla and Corrin, and then yeah, it's Perry's time to shine.
I'm feeling stabby. Say goodbye to your intestines.
God, I'm so tired, I want to go to sleep. But yeah, that is indeed the end to this run. Finally. Holy crap, this took a long time to do. Well, first of all, the run. This was one of my favorite runs of Conquest I've done, although the ranged weapons run might have been better overall. I loved messing with Gale Force, but it was a bit too good. Perry is probably one of my new, unironic favorite characters in Fire Emblem because, what can I say? Its stabby time is peak, Your Honor. I hope you guys did enjoy because I guess it's time for the elephant in the room, my own problems making this video. For context, this run started a week after I finished my ranged weapons run, back in June. As of me recording this audio, it's been 4 months since the ranged weapons video came out. It's obviously real life stuff, but I made the ranged weapons video after I finished this run, so this run was more on my mind than it is when I'm actually making this video itself. Might have been just a tad bit dumb on my end. So yeah, if this video comes across like I'm flipping between styles of writing or like just general weirdness is happening, where like I make sense sometimes and then don't make sense some other times, like I'm talking in depth about something and then I stop talking in depth about it, yeah, that's why. To be honest, at some points of making this script I basically forced myself to do it, which wasn't the greatest, but like I would have forgotten even more of this run if I didn't. And like, it's been 3 months making this script. I kind of have to push myself. I mean, nobody's pushing myself except, well, me. I guess that's just motivation. The problem is, well, the next point. I mean, I'm still glad I got this video done, but I'm honestly probably going on another hiatus. That's the word. After this video, and if you're wondering why I check my community post I made, there's just a lot of other stuff I'm passionate about, like anime. Yeah, I'll leave it there actually. Check out my friend's video in the description. It might be out when I'm done with this, or it might not. If it's not, I'll say in the description. If you like anime, I guess, because I like anime. That's why I started Fire Emblem actually. But, yeah, I hope I see you guys, again, honestly. There's a lot of stuff I want to say about other topics besides just Fire Emblem. which is a game I haven't played in a little bit at this point, and so talking about it is a bit strange because I have to think about like, oh, what have I done in it like 3 months ago? I guess time changes, and you know, gotta think about other stuff. Yeah, okay, I'm just ranting at this point. As a special gift for those who made it this far, the special keyword for probably my next video is Mario Galaxy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Share it with people who also like Fire Emblem, I guess. Tell me if I'm stupid and I made errors with this video, because I probably did. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. Maybe in a few months, maybe... Okay, well, hopefully less than a few months. Well, definitely more than a few months, but like... Yeah, it's 10:30, I need to go to sleep, sorry. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, and stay safe. Bye.